Well, okay. What's up to everyone out there in YouTube land? How's everyone doing? Hopefully, everyone is having a lovely day today. No matter what you're doing, working, got the day off, just chilling, whatever you're doing, right? Really quick video, everyone, really quick. For those who are unaware out there. Now, just to let you know, this is my copyright. I'm not a professional licensed car mechanic. I'm not a so-called quote unquote shade tree mechanic, as they call it. However, I do know a little something about vehicles, just the basics, right? Just to get you back on the road again. All right, so back to what I was saying. For those who's unaware out there, if you have any issues with your transmission, right? Now, for this vehicle in particular, this is a second generation Cadillac Escalade, as I've said, right? As you can see here. Okay, this is a second generation Cadillac Escalade. This is the 6.0 Vortec V8 all-wheel drive engine. And if you have any leakage from your transmission, it doesn't necessarily have to be from the transmission itself. However, if it's coming from the lines, and you're losing transmission fluid and your transmission don't want to switch into gear, no matter what you try, you can put it in reverse, you can put it in drive, overdrive, first, second, and third gear, and it just don't want to move for you, right? If you're having that issue, then chances are, number one, you could be very low on transmission fluid. Number two, as for this particular reason here, you might have a leaky line that's leaking out all of your transmission fluid. And as you can see here, for this particular reason, the line that connects from the transmission to the radiator. Now, I'm not too sure if there's many other vehicles that's different models and makes that connect their line from a radiator to the transmission. However, for this particular vehicle here, which is the second generation Cadillac Escalade, there's a line that runs from the transmission to the radiator. This is what you call the transmission fluid coolant line. All right. And sometimes these lines can get a little damaged, or they can get worn over time, or they have clips that clip onto these things that hold the line in place. And if you're missing this clip, so to speak, which is this right here, all right, it's a clip that goes over the connection part, or port, I should say, to this line, which is right there, right? You can see little grooves down in there if you look closely. See if I can focus this here and get a good angle. All right, there's ports in there. There's 3 ports that connect to these dips right here within the clip, right? You got one right here, then you got another one in the middle there, and then you got this one right there. So these dips right here goes into those grooves that's within this right here, okay? And that's what hold the line in. So if you're missing one of those clips, or if it's the incorrect size, this line here is going to pop off, right? It's going to pop off, and then you're going to be leaking a whole lot of transmission fluid. As you can see here, I could take this off because the clip is not in there. All right. Just to give you a little idea of what I'm talking about. Hold on 1 second. Let me zoom back out a little bit so you can see better. All right. So I'm going to take this off here. Got to jiggle it a little bit. All right. There you go. Okay. So let me zoom back in so you can have a better idea of what I'm talking about here. All right. So as you can see here on the line, let me clear it up a little bit. There's a piece here, right on the edge, sort of, right here. Let me see if I could point to it. There's a lot of nets flying around. Excuse me for all of that. It's flying in my face, flying in my eyes. You know how it is when you're in the country, man. But anyway, these pieces right here, you know, it's like sort of holding rods, I guess you can call it, you know, for lack of a better terminology used for these things. But this is what holds the line in. When you push that back into the screw or the nut, and then you place this on it, this right here supposed to go in the back of these right here, and this is what hold the line in. All right, so if you're missing this clip here, this line is going to pop out because there's nothing holding it in, right? The only thing that can hold it in is this right here, this clip. I forget the size of it. I see if I can put the correct size, you know, the OEM part to this in the description, you know, so you guys can know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so if you don't have that, it's not going to hold that line in to this screw here. Okay. All right. So that's what hold the line in. So if you don't have those clips, your transmission coolant fluid is going to pull out, it's going to leak out, and this transmission is not going to switch into gear for you, and your vehicle is not going to go anywhere. Now, this is only concerning the vehicles that have this part here, and which I'm pretty sure a majority of vehicles does, because, you know, the transmission fluid does need to get cooled as it's, you know, the wheels are grinding and churning inside of the transmission. So you definitely need to make sure that this line is secure. If not, you will be stranded. Believe you me, I'm speaking from personal experience, and this is the reason why I had to order this part right here. Not only just one part, I ordered multiple parts just in case, because you never know if that may pop off and then you're going to need another one, right? Or you could go to your local AutoZone or O'Reilly Auto Parts, or, you know, Advanced Auto Parts, whatever. They may just have this. It more than likely would be a aftermarket part instead of an OEM, but nonetheless, you know, if it's the correct size, then it's exactly what you need, right? For this particular vehicle right here. Now, for other vehicles, it may have different methods of holding their line in, but for this one right here, the second generation Cadillac Escalade, you're going to need this right here. All right, so this is the reason why your transmission is not switching into gear as you would like, and it's not going in reverse, it's not driving forward. It could be because you're low on transmission fluid, and always check those lines. All right, now being that this is a older model car, you know, this is a second generation Escalade here. This is 2005, but anywhere from 2002 to 2007, I think, maybe 2006, you know, it's pretty much the same engine makeup, right? Or, you know, mechanical design. So right here, we still have our dipsticks for our transmission. For the newer model cars, you don't even have these things here. All right. For some reason, they took that feature away. So you can't even check your transmission fluid level, or, you know, if you need to change your fluid or what have you. Maybe you could. Maybe it might be under the vehicle. I'm not too sure. But they took that feature away with a lot of early model cars, or newer model cars, as I should say. So you may have to take it to a mechanic, or if you know about your vehicle, you may have to jack it up and check your transmission fluid that way, right? But I just wanted to give you guys a quick video and a quick heads up, you know, especially for everyone who have a second generation Cadillac Escalade from 2002 to the newer design, right? So this is your problem. You know, if your transmission, once again, if it's not switching into gear, if it's not switching into reverse or drive or first, second, and third gear, it don't want to drive on you, chances are you're very low on transmission fluid, or you may have a leaky line. And if it's this one in particular that runs into the radiator, all right, which is the transmission fluid coolant line, you're going to need this right here. If you're missing it, I'll try to put the correct size in the description below whenever I find it. Or you may need to replace this whole entire line. You know, thank God, you know, this right here was pretty much in the engine bay and not up under the vehicle. But if it was, you know, I have a jack and I can jack my vehicle up and pretty much do the same thing there. I'm pretty sure it's the same way on the other end of this line that runs into the transmission, wherever it's running into the transmission. All right. So pretty much, more than likely, that could be your issue if you're having the same problem as me with a second generation Escalade. All right. Just to let you guys know. Okay. Hopefully everyone continue to enjoy the rest of their day. As you can see here, it's nice and sunny here where I'm at, and nice and hot too also. I think it's like 95 degrees with the heat index of 100, but nonetheless, beautiful day, right? So till next time, peace.